real quick. Y'all already know who it is, man. It's your boy Lyrical Voice, Lyrical God, Lyrics Voice. Mr. Light Life Empire himself, Mr. LBS Design, Mr. Trending Motherfucking Topic, you heard? Um, Before we get started with this live, real quick, public service announcement. New music drop. My new EP drops April 1st. So y'all be sure to stay tuned, man. I will be reposting the master link. So that way y'all can go out and pre-save, do all that good jizz. And y'all haven't gone to go, you know, whether it's Apple Music, YouTube Music, or Spotify, if you haven't gone to go pre-save or even save my playlist, my customized playlist, updated frequently by me, all my new release tracks, get over there. Links and everything is look. Just get over there in the community post, man. Y'all know what to do, man. But look, real talk. We got we got a real serious topic to discuss with y'all today, dog. Like real talk. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna see who joined this live, man. And we're gonna get into it. But y'all be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Sheesh. Yeah, as soon as y'all come in this y'all, make sure y'all subscribe on bro. But while y'all do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get my mind right. You feel me? Look, if you drink, you drink. If you smoke. You feel me? Just don't just look. Look, you drink, you gonna drink. Smoke, you gonna smoke. Roll, you gonna roll. Just do your thing. Just don't step on these all white G phasos. You hear me? Bro. That's all I'm tell you. That's all I'm gonna tell you. That's all I'm gonna tell you. But nah, real talk though. Real talk. So look. Soon as we get a couple faces in this junk, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the topic, man. And as y'all can see based on the title, man. Look, how can we strengthen family homes? How can we strengthen family homes? Look. Now I know a lot. Now I know a lot of y'all gonna be in the comment section like. I know a lot of y'all gonna be in the comment section like, well, for the ladies, well, if men just stop being doves for the men, if females just stop being hoes, if kids, if parents just stop, look, everybody want to point the finger, but don't nobody want to take accountability. Everybody want to point the finger, but nobody want to take accountability. So this is how. So look. So we're going to discuss how we going to strengthen these family values and these family homes, man. We're going to discuss some things real quick. But before we do that, I'm just let me just let me get my medulla oblongata, my pineal gland, my oh alignment real quick for this topic. Just saying. What authentic YouTube channel up here, bro? Okay, I feel like I'm the most authentic. Want to know why? I ain't branching off to nobody else's shit. I ain't trying to do what nobody else doing. You know, I ain't. You feel me? I got my own little stilo. Got my own little. I got my own little shit. So it's just like I've been needing to know. So like, all right. So look, we getting a little bit off topic here. We getting a little bit off topic. We getting a little bit off topic right now. All right. Cool. Let me say this. All right. So look. Now, For those of you that know me, for those of you that know me, y'all know how old I am. I ain't gotta get into all that. For those of y'all that know me, y'all already know what it is when it comes to me and my relationship when it comes to the youth, my relationship when it comes to the kids, my relationship when it comes to parenting and my whole ideology of it all. All right. Now look, my twin brother, right? Now I ain't gonna put twin business out there like that. I ain't gonna do that because it's not for me, bro. But understand this, right? And he's not the only individual. He's not the only individual. Because I low key just witnessed something like this online days ago. All right, so look, strengthening family values, strengthening family homes, strengthening family values, bro. All right, so understand that in order to even have a foundation, right? In order to have a foundation, you got to first know what your foundation is being built on and being built with. What kind of soil is your foundation being built on? You feel me? Like, what kind of what what are the basics? What are the basic necessities that are connected to actually build that to prepare that foundation to start building, right? So now understand this. A lot of times, there's always a back and forth. There's always a back and forth when it comes to communication between kids and parents. There's always some kind of back and forth when it comes to communication of kids and parents, right? Because parents feel like they just know everything, due to our experience coming from a father, okay? We feel like we know everything. We feel like we've pretty much experienced it all, done it all. We can't be played because we played those games with our parents and all this and that, blah 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 blah, right? Kids, they kids to look at us as parents are like, oh, you don't know what we're doing. What we're doing nowadays is different from how y'all was growing up. Blah 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 blah. All this and that, right? Parents just nitpick. Parents just do this. Parents just find any and every way to whatever, right? Boom. Let me elaborate. Let me allow me as a parent from a father. Allow me as a parent to step in real quick and let me get some insight and let me get my point of view. First thing first, a lot of times when it comes to parents and kids, whether it's teenagers, young adults, or whatever, usually when it comes to parenting and kids getting into it, you know, as an adult, you feel like your kids starting to smell themselves, they getting prideful, whatever the case may be. The first, the first, the first initiative that a parent nowadays would take, or the first initiative that a parent would take since way back then, would be kicking that child out the house. Kicking that child out the house, boy or girl, son or daughter. Kick that child out the house. You don't want to follow my rules. You don't want to go to school. You don't want to do this and do that. Get the hell out of my house. Cool, by all means. But coming from a father to the rest of you parents out there, let me tell you where y'all fuck up at. Let me tell you where y'all fuck up at. This is where you fuck up at. Because Little do you know, the minute you decide in your mental, your cerebral, your medulla oblongata, your pineal gland, the minute that you decide that you wanna kick him or her out the house, little do you know, you're setting your child up for failure. Better yet, no, not even setting them up for failure. You're pushing them further into being unsuccessful. Now, I'm not saying that your child is going to automatically, just wind up shot, dead, buried, locked up, or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. But the minute you decide to put your son, your daughter, out onto the street as a parent, first thing, you're pushing them into a mental state that no one should be in. You're forcing them to go into a mental state that no one should be in. That's the first thing. Second thing, you're allowing you're allowing the opportunity of anything, a worst case scenario happening. Then and then you won't take no accountability as a parent. You won't take no accountability. Let your child come up here raped, pregnant, locked up, killed, whatever. You as a parent not gonna take no accountability. Because the first thing and the only thing that's gonna be on your mind is, oh well, you was disobeying my orders, not following my rules, or whatever case may be. So you had to go. You had to get the fuck out. Understand this. As a parent, as a parent, first and foremost, it is, yes, you know right. Yes, you know better. You do, but you do not know everything. That's where you're wrong. You gotta understand that you're not in school no more. Times has changed. Kids are changing. Era has changed. So what kids go through in today's society is not what we would. It's not like how it was when we was growing up. It's not how it was when our parents was growing up. It's not the same. It's a difference. So just because we was forced into isolation, just because we was forced into the streets, just because all the we gotta break those cycles. We gotta break those cycles. We gotta break those cycles as parents, as the new adults. We gotta break those cycles. Find a way to communicate with your child. You as a child, find a way to communicate with your parent. Parents to stop trying to be friends with your child. Understand that there's a way to still be a parent and have boundaries. There's a difference. There's a way you can balance the two. But it is up to both parties to figure out that balance. Make sense? I know it makes sense because I said it. I know it makes sense because I said it. So with that being stated, as parents, stop stop letting stop stop accepting or making your default choice be get the fuck out my house just because your child has a has a weird way of communicating with you. Why don't you figure out what your child needs, or in what way can you assist them? Because look, you gotta understand, just because you're their mom, just because you're their dad, just because you're providing a roof over your head, over their head, just because you're providing food for them, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. But understand that kids go through shit. Kids go through the same kids. Kids go through shit just like adults go through shit. So it's not much. It's not much that us as adults should be expecting from kids, other than for us to enjoy them, watching them enjoy their fucking life. But besides that, besides that factor, you gotta come to grips and understand that your child is low key going through shit. Your child is low key dealing with different energies that haven't figured themselves out yet, because your child is still trying to figure out themselves, and so they're being talked about and no this nonsense picked on and everything throughout school and everything else. Us as adults, we've managed to figure out ways to deal with that, not deal with it or ignore it, or you feel me? We'll figure out ways to do that. It is up to us to educate the youth on how to. It's me personally. I know motherfuckers in their 40s. Look, I ain't even gonna say it. I know motherfuckers in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and up, still bitter as fuck, still haven't learned how to let go, still haven't learned how to come to grips or come to peace with the experience of life. Me being the age that I am, to be honest with you, it ain't hard for me to let shit go. I've been letting shit go since I was a jit. No funny. Since I was a jit, I've been taught to let shit go. Since I was a jit, I've been taught to not hold on to shit. Being honest with you. Since a jit, I was taught that what's for me is for me. Since a jit, I've been taught that what's for me ain't gonna miss me. So, but we don't. Everybody don't have that same understanding. Everybody don't have that same understanding. Everybody don't have that same inner knowing, bro. Sis, cousin, everybody don't have that shit. So us as parents, adults, we can't just cause we have hard a hard way of communicating with our child, because we don't give our child that opportunity to feel free to come talk to us. We can't allow that default outcome being get the fuck out my house, just cause our child, is having a hard time, communicating. A lot of times parents don't know how to be parents because they wasn't catered to as a kid correctly. You got a lot of parents out here that's holding on to childhood trauma, childhood wounds that they haven't even learned how to let go yet, and they out here being parents and taking that childhood drama out on their kids. Bro, that shit toxic. Bro, on my mother, that shit ain't cool, bro. On my mother, that shit ain't cool. As a father, coming from me, that's not cool, bro. That's not cool. Like, it's not cool. So it's like a lot of, like, us as adults, us as parents, us as the new everything. Like, bruh, we got, like, shit gotta change. Shit gotta change, bro. Like, if you as a parent in this age, born in the '90s, yeah, I'm a '93 baby. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm a '93 baby. Stand up, you hear me? So I'm a '93 baby. I had my first child when I had my first child, bro, when I was 20. I had my first child when I was 20. No lie, on my soul. With that being stated, like, understand, you got a lot of parents out here started off young, who wasn't catered to, or whatever the case may be, wasn't guided properly or whatever, who done been sexually assaulted, molested, whatever the case may be, and they out here parenting, and they don't necessarily know how to be parents themselves, because they still got childhood trauma that they haven't even healed from, and they out here trying to be parents. Come on, bro, but that should make sense. So us as parents nowadays, we gotta learn how to actually be there for our kid. Figure out what it is that our kids need. Like, how can we as parents actually cater to our kids, like, to where they're not fucked up. No, like that is. I know a lot of youngins right now. I know a lot of young niggas right now, early 20s. 18, 16, 14. I know a lot of young niggas right now on my life. I know a lot of young niggas right now. And look, in different states, different parts of the world, from Florida, DC, Virginia, New York, different areas, like different states and cities that I actually lived in and shit. I know, I know a group of youngins, males, females, whatever, bro, that low key, if they actually have somebody to guide them, I promise you they'll take the opportunity. I promise you they'll take the opportunity. But they're so used to people giving up on them because their parents done given up on them. All they know is how to give up because everybody done given up on them. That narrative gotta change. How can you like the world alone would be so much better if everybody actually learned how to work together and stop trying to be for themselves. And be honest with you. They say it's strength in numbers, but shit, how can there be strength in numbers if everybody too busy trying to subtract? I ain't even trying to flow. I'm just trying to let y'all know. But truth be told, that's just what it is, and this just how it go. So y'all be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what y'all think. Real life, life and pride, man. Lyrical voice, man. Rest in peace. Take off, mama.